Today, my friends, I am going to tell you the story of how I was attacked by an invisible dog. Now, you may think that I'm crazy. You may think that this is a wacko, way out there story. But just give me a moment to tell the story and explain. And hey, if you're new here, hey, I'm Dave. And this channel is called Old Dad Studio. Welcome. Thank you very much for stopping by and listening to the story today. I hope that with this story, along with all the other stories and AI content that I have, I could win you over and have you as a subscriber, and maybe even give me a thumbs up if you like the story today. It's kind of a wild one. Now, for those of you who know, or I guess those who don't know, one of the things that I have been working on is trying to get healthier. This has been not just a now thing. This has been most of my adult life thing. The current iteration of it is I'm doing a daily journal, and I journal different things that I'm looking at working on a 5-year curve. So I've got a 5-year goal out there, and every single day I journal saying, today, this is what I can do to help my 5-year goal. One of those goals is to lose weight, and I would like to lose quite a bit of weight, actually. And so in the process of writing down things and doing things that I would like to do to help myself lose weight, getting out and walking and having more exercise is one of those things. I spend most of my days here in my office behind this desk. I work on computers all day, and I don't get much exercise. And so getting out and walking and just moving, any kind of exercise I can get, is helping me to get to that 5-year goal. Plus, it's just good to do, right? I mean, everybody wants to walk and be healthy. Now, if you're a frequent watcher of these vlogs, I may have mentioned a time or two before, I have trouble walking because I've got some bad knees. And so it's difficult for me to walk, but I still like to get out there and do it. I would like to be able to do it more. I'd like to rehab my knees some and lose some weight and be able to hike. I really love hiking out in the woods and doing outdoors type things. And so that's one of my ultimate goals, along with that, losing that weight. And now you're already asking yourself, how does that, how does your journaling and your goals tie into being attacked by an invisible dog? Well, the other morning, I decided to go out for a walk and get a little bit of exercise. It's just around the block. You know, I kind of live in suburbia, and there's houses around, and there's good sidewalks and things, so we can walk, and it's not that taxing at all, right? So even somebody with me who's struggling with weight and bad knees can get out there and get some exercise in the sidewalks. And so the other morning I decided to go for a walk and journal that out. This is what I'm going to do today. And so I go, and it's a beautiful morning. I mean, some of the mornings here recently in Minnesota have been fantastic. I mean, we're in springtime, so we fluctuate from being very cold to it being very warm. But this particular morning, it was beautiful. Perfect walking weather. The sun was out. There was a little bit of a light breeze. It wasn't too chilly yet, but it was chilly enough that you didn't get overheated when you were walking. The birds were out chirping, because it's springtime here and the things are starting to turn green, and it's a good time to be outdoors in Minnesota and just walking and enjoying the weather and the nature that is out there. But in the neighborhood that we live in, it's still growing and expanding, and there are new houses going in and the new roads being developed in our block yet. And so depending on exactly which route you go, sometimes you can see some of the new building and constructions and things going up. And I always like to see what's going on in the neighborhood anyway. So I thought I would walk down the farthest road that we have in our block and come back around. And so I'm out for my walk and just enjoying the weather. And all of a sudden, I hear a dog barking, like barking at me. I guess not just barking like off in the distance, but like near me, barking at me. And it startled me. I was not expecting it. I didn't see a dog. All I heard was the barking, and it truly surprised me. And I was just like, oh, that kind of, and I thought like there was a dog right in front of me about to attack me. That's how surprised, I guess, I was over this situation. And so I'm looking, right? And I'm looking around and I don't see a dog. So then I'm thinking, is there something behind me? And I'm spinning around looking for this dog. And I don't see a dog. And so I'm standing there and now I'm standing still looking and I'm not seeing this dog. And the barking has stopped. And the only thing I could think of is that maybe a dog ran past me and I didn't see it. It barked at me, but ran away. But it was kind of a fierce bark. So I started walking again. And as soon as I started walking again, the dog barked again. And it's hard to describe, but this bark was not like a ruff, 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 pet me, I'm a friendly puppy dog, ruff, ruff. No, 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 no. This was one of those barks, mean, growling, I'm going to rip your face off kind of, bark, that that's the kind of visceral barking tone that this bark had. And as soon as I started moving, it started barking at me again. And so I stopped and I looked around and I could not find this dog that was barking at me. And I'm telling you, my heart was like pounding and I was already kind of a little sweaty because I was out walking and moving and my heart's pounding. And now I'm like kind of freaking out a little bit thinking I'm going to be attacked by this dog and I don't even see it. And so I decided, well, I'm going to step up my pace a little bit. I can't run. But I could try to walk a little faster, maybe, maybe do some of that speed walking type stuff. And so I start going again, and and it wasn't necessarily funny at the time, but I'm a big guy, right? And so I'm trying to do the old speed walking thing, and I'm out there, and when you get me a speed walking, well, it's kind of like a waterbed wobbling, right? So I'm speed walking, and I happen to notice out of the corner of my eye, one of the new neighbors is out in their yard. It looks like they're getting ready to go to work, and they notice me, and they're kind of laughing, and I was, I don't know, I guess I was maybe a tinge like, oh, you laughing at me because I'm a big fat man trying to speed walk out of here, or you laugh about it. It didn't matter. At that point, I just wanted to get out of there, right? I just wanted to get away from that dog that was barking and make sure that I wasn't attacked. And so I sped walked my way past that house. And once I got past kind of the yard that I was at where the dog was barking, it stopped. And I got a few steps further down the sidewalk and I stopped and I turned and I looked and still I could not see this dog that was out there. I don't know where it went. I don't know what it did. I don't know how it was right on top of me barking like that and barking so fiercely at me, but it was there. And so, heart still pumping, I decided I'm just going to finish my walk. I'm going to go home. I'm going to be done with it, right? I certainly exercised enough and I got some cardio, some extra cardio out of the mix as well. And so around the corner I go, down the street I go, and then finally I'm back home. And everything is okay. And whew, I'm glad that I made it. I'm glad I went out for the walk, but man, that dog scared the crap out of me. And it was an invisible dog on top of that. The sound was right there on top of me. And I could not see that dog. Now, it just so happens that we've got some neighbors across the street from us who are also raising some little puppies. And every time they have a new litter, they put the litter up for sale. And folks come around and they have this little kennel out front and put the dogs there. And the little puppies can run around and the neighbor kids come running when the puppies are out. And later that day, I happened to be outside and they were bringing their puppies out. And so I walked over and said, hey, can I, do you mind if I pet the puppies? I love those little puppies and they're so cute. And so I had one, when I was petting on it and I was talking to our neighbor and I was telling him, man, there's somebody over there's got some kind of fierce dog. And I said, it scared the crap out of me. I told him the story of what was happening and I couldn't see it and it was right there. And he kind of chuckled at me. And I'm like, well, You know, you're the second person to laugh at me about this. This was like scary. And he said, Dave, you don't know what that was? And I'm like, no, I didn't see it. I couldn't see the dog. I have no idea what it was. Why, was it some like teeny tiny little thing that just sounds fierce? And he said, no. What you were afraid of was not a barking dog. What you got scared of was a barking rock. About what? A barking rocks don't bark? And he said, no, you don't understand. Our neighbors over here for April Fool's Day decided to put in their yard some rocks that are Bluetooth. They look like rocks, but they're actually Bluetooth speakers. And they have a recording that is motion detected of dogs barking. And it's been up ever since April 1st. So whenever anybody walks by their yard, the motion detection trips those barking rocks, and the rocks bark at people. Now, I don't know about you. I don't think that's a very funny April Fool's Day joke because it scared the crap out of me. But at least it wasn't a dog, a vicious dog that was going to attack me that was invisible that I couldn't see. So I'm glad it was just a barking rock. Now, this channel most of the time is about AI. So this story had nothing to do with AI. Kind of. The last couple of days, what I've been posting about tariffs and stocking up on things is a pretty heavy topic. So today I wanted something a little bit lighter. And so I opened up my ChatGPT, which I call Quinn, and I said, hey Quinn, last couple of days, we've had really heavy topics on our channel here. I would like something lighthearted today. I want a story to tell. And ChatGPT wrote me this story that I just told you. So in a way, AI was here because that wasn't a real story. And you know what? That's going to do it for today. This is April 29th, 2025. This is vlog 119. And if you like that story, come on back because we will see you tomorrow.